Well, good Monday evening, everyone, and welcome to Weather Worries with your Weather Authority. I'm Todd Warren here, streaming on Facebook Live, as well as for the first time, hopefully, live within the KTAL Now app that you can download for your Roku or Fire TV or Apple TV. Stream it live on your TV as well. I'm waiting to see if it's going to pop on here. But nonetheless, coming up tonight, after a gorgeous day today with temperatures in the low 80s across the Arklatex, we are going to be looking at a little bit of rain making its way back into the area, probably starting tomorrow night, and that will continue into Wednesday morning for part of the area. Another disturbance will bring the threat of heavy rain this weekend, probably during the first half of the weekend. I'll have the details on how much rain that disturbance will bring. We will have a little bit of instability in place, so a few thunderstorms will be possible. I'll have the details on the extent of any severe weather concerns that we may have. And I've had a couple of questions, people hearing about another Arctic blast late in February. I'll take you out 2 weeks, not quite to the end of February, but there is no cold in sight here for at least the next couple of weeks. So that's what's happening here tonight. If you're watching on Facebook Live and have a question or a comment, feel free to ask away. If you just want to say hello, that's great too, as we like to start things off by saying our highs. And first on board, as usual, is Brian. Hello there, Brian. Hopefully you're doing well tonight. Gary, hello to you. Daniel in Cass County. Hopefully you had a nice day there in Cass County today there, Daryl. Let's see or Daniel, I should say. Betty, greetings. Hopefully you're doing well tonight. Mary, you're quite welcome, and thank you for watching, Mary. Aaron, hello there in WCOK. And Rusty, another beautiful day today. I wholeheartedly agree, Rusty. Eric says it's now 61 degrees west of the Arklatex in Colbert, Oklahoma. They're near Lake Texoma. And also from WCOK is Brad. Hello there, Brad. Hopefully you're enjoying your evening this evening, as we are looking at conditions across the Arklatex today that were quite nice. But before we get into a review of today and details on what's ahead of us here in the next couple of weeks, this is the level of my concern here. Again, hence weather worries. Put it at 3. We are going to be looking at some heavy rain. The severe weather risk is not 0, but it is looking rather low. My main concern for this weekend disturbance is its impact on the Crew of Gemini parade. Obviously, get a lot of people along the parade route. Hopefully we can change the timing of that, and I'll have the details coming up in just a bit. Today, however, just a gorgeous day as we made it to 81 degrees for the high temperature in Shreveport, 79 degrees in Texarkana, 82 degrees was the high temperature this afternoon in Marshall. As far as the current pattern, this is what's going to be taking place. We're going to be watching 2 disturbances. We have disturbance number 1 right here. This disturbance is going to move basically to the northeast of the Arklatex and not really bring a whole lot of rain. This next disturbance is going to move basically in this pretty much the same path, but it appears as if it may have a bit more moisture to work with. And as a result, we're going to get quite a bit more rain from that disturbance. So let's take a look at the next several days here with a look at the surface map. This has your highs, lows, and fronts on the map, and you can see a cold front off to the north. That's not really going to be making it into the Arklatex here as we move forward, as we go into basically tomorrow evening. You see the frontal system moving into the northern sections of the Arklatex. That front is going to slide through, and we will see the main, more widespread rains associated with this over the northern sections of the Arklatex. And I'll show you a closer look at this as we show you the up-close view of Futurecast here in a second. Now, as far as the surface map here, you can see the disturbances off to the west. This disturbance is going, and the associated front is going to dive south as well. We're going to see an area of low pressure develop along this system. This is going to be the low of concern. As you can see, Friday pretty much going to be dry, I think. Notice how the rain breaks out as that upper level support provides quite a bit more upper level support for this area of low pressure at the surface. Unfortunately, the high-res version of Futurecast only goes out to Friday evening. So I'm going to show you this real quick, and then I'll address any more questions or comments that you may have. But you can see tonight, Futurecast shows that we are looking at lots of clouds. I doubt that we'll see anything as far as rain tonight. As we go through tomorrow, we're going to see, again, a cloudy sky. Might see a few rays of afternoon sunshine. Again, this takes us through tomorrow night, and you can see the areas of light rain that will be possible, especially across the northern half of the area. That rain probably ends Wednesday morning if it does develop. And then as we move through Wednesday night, we will continue with a partly to mostly cloudy sky. On Thursday, we will see, again, lots of clouds across the area and basically warm temperatures. Through all these this week, temperatures will stay in the 70s for highs. We actually could get pretty close to 80 again on Friday. You can see Thursday night, lots of clouds. Futurecast shows a spattering of rain. I kind of doubt that we'll see much. And heading into Friday, it looks mainly dry for the Arcaltex. And let me zoom this out to a regional view here, and you can see that the rain increasing here off to the west and northwest of us Friday evening. That is what's to come this weekend. All right, let me pause here and see who else has chimed in. Rusty, I did. That is my Tempest weather station. If you're going to buy a weather station, that's the one I recommend. I love it. So whatever, it lets me know when it's raining at my house, which is always good to hear, especially nowadays. Lewis, good evening. Gene, going to Gatlinburg Friday. You will be out ahead of it, Gene. In fact, this right here will be a good thing to watch as I go forward here, and you'll kind of get a sense. Here we are going as we switch to grain of salt time, and this is where we take you out more than a week. Anything past a week, you got to take with a grain of salt because chances are it's going to change some. So that is a look here as that first disturbance moves by. Here comes the second disturbance. And you can see the rain starting to increase here, but not until probably late Friday evening, Friday night. So, Gene, to answer your question, you'll probably be out in front of this disturbance traveling to Gatlinburg on Friday, the way it looks right now, based on the current model speed of this thing. And then you can see that we'll reach the peak as far as the intensity of the rain, as well as the any thunderstorms on Saturday. And I'll talk instability here in a second, and then we'll see it all come to an end on late Saturday night or early Sunday morning. Again, we very well could be seeing some of the heaviest rains during the Crew of Gemini parade Saturday afternoon. Now, today is only Monday, so there's still some hope that we could adjust the timing of this somewhat, but given the fact that it's going to be a relatively long event in terms of how long the rain is going to be falling, we're probably going to see rain at some point during the Gemini parade. And then you can see after that disturbance moves out, big O upper level ridge develops over the eastern half of the country, and that's going to keep us warm. And this trough here could give us another shot for some rain maybe the following weekend. All right, let's talk timing here with first of all, instability. And again, basically when we start to get close to 500-ish, that's when we might see that isolated severe storm or two. And this is basically a day-by-day breakdown from the blend of models. And you can see that it peaks on Saturday. And every other day, we really don't have anything as far as rain minus, maybe Wednesday morning. So Saturday is going to be the day. And right now, the severe weather risk is looking low. But again, it's not zero. SPC says there's not enough to issue a slight risk, which is the lowest they go this far out. But they mentioned that we probably will, at the very least, have a marginal severe weather risk. I think it's probably going to be highest south of the Arcaltex, closer to the coast. There may be a slight at some point. So based on the current numbers. And again, a model-by-model breakdown of the same thing shows pretty good agreement on the extent of that instability that could be available. So based on this, I would anticipate seeing a marginal risk somewhere in the Arcaltex. Probably would be wind and maybe hail, maybe an isolated tornado, something too. But it's a little early to talk that just yet. And of course, starting tomorrow, Futurecast will go out to cover much of Saturday. So that's what it looks like as far as the thunderstorm part of this. Let's switch over to rain now, and this is the latest outlook from the Weather Prediction Center. This is actually made by meteorologists at WPC, so this is not model data. And this is probably going to be the biggest concern. Now, we're still in drought conditions. I'm going to show you the drought monitor here in a second from last Thursday, something someone reminded me to do, and I didn't see it until it was too late. And we really didn't see much change after the winter storm, even though we did see what it amounted to a couple of inches of rain in spots, liquid at least, when it melted. But you can see 2 to 2.5 to even 3 inches possible over the northern half of the Arklatex from I-20 and points north, but still a good 1.5 to 2 inches further to the south. This would be near or in the green areas. That's pretty normal for, actually above normal for a 7-day period, and above normal for the same thing further to the north. Here's a look at the blend of all the different models, which matches very well with what you just saw from WPC, showing the 2 to 3 inches north, 1.5 to 2 inches across the southern half of the area. And then look at the individual models. And again, just as we saw with the instability, very good agreement here. Notice the cluster of 2s, 2+ in Texarkana and DeQueen, and notice the lighter amounts as you look to the south. So we do have some pretty good model agreement on exactly how much rain that we might see. Now, the trends in the rain and the instability have been going up here, and that's a thing that we tend to watch. So we'll see if that trend continues as we get closer to this particular event. All right, let's move on and show you what is, before I do that, let's take a look at some of the questions here. Matt wants to know any, I would say marginal at the very least, Matt, as far as severe weather, as I think I mentioned. Dylan, hello. Brad says it's 59 right now in WCOK. You can see at my station says 69 there, Brad, and you can see it is a bit warmer than the airport right now, which the airport was 8 o'clock. I put that on there because that is right now. These are hourly temperatures here further from Texarkana, Marshall, and Shreveport. Cold Front Chris is here with Santa, and he's entered the chat. Santa says he spent the day investigating the North Pole. See how it's held up during winter. Carol, I'm glad you love the weather today. Got plenty more of it if you don't mind the clouds. Dylan, no. Some relief, but not a buster. It would we would have to have a pretty good rain event to totally get rid of it. Norm, Gary is here from Palm Springs. Hopefully you're doing well, Gary. Did you watch the Super Bowl last night? I imagine you probably didn't, huh? since your team wasn't represented for the first time in a decade. Gail, hello. Gail says it's crunchy dry in your area. Well, where is that, Gail? Is that, I'm trying to think. Are you northeast Louisiana, if memory serves me correctly? Rooster, hello. I'm doing well, Rooster. Hopefully you're doing well, too. I bet you all the Chiefs playing. I think you are saying that we wish the Chiefs were playing. Probably so. It was a typical defensive battle, a field goal game. Okay, Gail, South Marshall. I knew it was one or the other. I'll remember that one of these days. All right, that's a look at the rain. I think I've covered the comments, so let's move on here and show you what is happening. Again, this is the GFS for the next 2 weeks, so it doesn't show much more after this weekend's rainfall. And of course, this is the drought monitor, as I mentioned, and you can see it does show the level 3 and 4 droughts, the worst drought conditions from Idabel to Clarksville down to Mount Pleasant. You can see that's level 4 drought. Still have the level 3 drought over the southern parts of the Arklatex. A few weeks ago, this was red down here, so a little bit of improvement there. And we have the level 2 drought here between this area, for the most part, between interstates 20 and 30. All right, so that's the drought monitor and we'll see more red on this given the lack of rain that we've seen here in the last week. Again, snowfall, probably not going to be showing this much more. So for you snow fans, goose eggs, as we often tell Gary on his rainfall, and all the models showing goose eggs here. And let's show you, take you out 2 weeks. This is the GFS for 2 weeks, and you can see it does show something up in northern Arkansas. So snowfall is not something that we're going to see a whole lot of here moving forward. All right, so that being said, that's right. Still no change for you, Betty, and not going to see much more, although some improvement this weekend, as you just saw earlier. All right, let's move ahead here and talk temperatures. And again, we're looking for anything unusual this time of year. 80 obviously is unusual, so we'll have more unusualness. I guess that's not a word. Weirdness, I guess, would be a better way. As far as temperatures, warm temperatures as opposed to cold. So you can see the close to 80, according to the European ensembles, with that ridge after this system moves in during the middle of next week. A slight cool down towards the end of the 2-week period. Notice the coldest night here, 43 next Monday. So most nights in the 50s, with a couple of nights in the 40s, according to the European ensembles. And as far as our highs and lows from the GFS ensembles, again, we like to compare the two sets. Notice the GFS a bit warmer at the beginning, not as cool Sunday, and a little bit cooler towards the end of the period. But again, more warm weirdness as opposed to cold weirdness. No freeze, nothing even close to freezing here. And this will take us through the 23rd of February. Someone asked me last week if I thought we had seen our last freeze. Then I said 55, 45. Yes, I'll keep it at that for now. I did look at the, I'm not going to do grain of salt night tomorrow night with the 45 day. I'm going to wait till Thursday to do that, since I can combine it with the Thursday drought monitor. But it showed below normal rainfall. Today's showed below normal rainfall and basically above normal temperatures for the next 3 weeks. So, and here's 2 of those 3 weeks. And then more normal temperatures as we head into March. But of course, in March, normal highs are in the 70s anyway. So that tells you that I might go 58, 42, that we're done with freezing. Gary is hoping for no goose eggs. So let's see if he has any more goose eggs. Let's see how that works here. And let me call up the, oops, wrong one. I got so many tabs on here. I get going too fast, Gary, and I hit the wrong one. And of course, this website for some reason takes forever to load. So again, the red line here, as I wait for that to load, is the normal high. So you can see the extent. Right now it's 61. The normal low is 40. So yeah, it is going to be well above normal. Okay, Gary, your temperatures are rainfall first. Wow, look at this. All total, this is showing more than 4 inches of rain on you, Gary, with most of that happening after next Monday. This week, relatively dry, but next week, very wet. You could be looking at, especially first half of the week, you could be looking at several inches of rain. Did I hit the right place? This is showing 14 inches of snow in Palm Springs. Dig out the snow shovel, Gary. As far as your temperatures, let's prove that snow theory wrong. Obviously, you can see, well, you can't see it, Gary. I can see it. You're 81 tomorrow, then 70s for several days, probably through the weekend. A little bit cooler as it rains in the 60s. Several nights, pretty much the first week will be in the 50s. This next 5 days in the 40s, back to the 50s, and by the 24th of February, you should be in the low 80s, Gary. So this is showing, this is the European ensembles, and I don't have that data for the GFS. One thing, let's since I had Gary here, I can call up the WPC number here, this graphic here. I'll zoom this out and see what WP they have, and they do have some rain down there for you, Gary. So there is something coming, but I don't think that goes out far enough to see that heavy rain next week. This is only 7 days, so There you go. All right. So that being said, let me take a look at the forecast here and show you what's coming up. And you can see that tonight we are going to be looking at the clouds, which pretty much have already increased. So call it mostly cloudy tonight. Temperatures will stay mild as we'll see lows in the low 60s over most of the area. 61 degrees in Shreveport, 63 in Texarkana, 60 degrees for the nighttime low tonight in Marshall. Tomorrow looking mostly cloudy. It will be breezy and pleasant as daytime highs will be in the mid to upper 70s. 78 tomorrow in Shreveport, 76 in Texarkana, right around 77 degrees in Marshall, and 77 degrees as well for the high temperature in Natchitoches. And your 10-day forecast shows that we are looking at temperatures staying in the 70s all this week. Rain looking likely for Saturday with some thunder. Again, severe weather can't be ruled out, but the risk is looking low. And you can see should salvage a nice day, at least Sunday afternoon for the Highland Parade. And then next week looks great. Lots of sunshine, few clouds mixed in. Highs next week will eventually warm back into the middle 70s. So that is pretty much everything that I have for you tonight, folks. So I'm going to play. I got a different set of music for Gary. Hopefully he likes that. So let's see. Any other questions? You're quite welcome there, Gary. No heat or AC yet. We're getting there, Gail. We're getting there, but not quite yet. So it's been a while since either have been on in my house as well. So that will officially do it for me tonight. But before I go, let me let's see. Let me see. I do have my attempt at a little bit of humor for you. So here we go. This morning, I woke up holding a wooden spoon and a mixing bowl. My wife said, "Rough night?" I'm like, "Yeah, how did you know?" She said, "You were stirring in your sleep." And that will officially do it for me tonight, folks. Thanks for tuning in, as always. Hopefully the stream worked on the KTAL Now app. So I did record this, so if it did work, you'll be able to go back and watch it on your TV a little bit later if you want to. But again, as always, a pleasure chatting with you tonight, folks. I'll be back tomorrow night at my normal time with the very latest on that weekend disturbance and whether or not we will or not see any severe weather across the Arctic. So tune in again tomorrow night until 8:30. Until then, enjoy your Tuesday and enjoy the pleasant temperatures. Good night.